Hi, welcome back to my channel. I don't actually talk like that. I am so glad you're here because that means that you've watched last week's video where I went into detail about all the steps you would need to create your digital product. And that's really important because this week we are actually going to be expanding on one of those steps. And I'm going to take you behind the scenes to show you exactly how I create a digital download product for my shop that sells to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars every single year, completely on autopilot. If this sounds like something you want to have in your life, I want you to grab the free template I've linked below just for you so that you can get started on the right foot, not just watching me create this, but you can literally pause this video and walk through side by side with me as I go through it because this is yours to access. As cute as this little pirate dress is, I'm going to flip the screen around and show you exactly how I work on any new digital download product so that you can get yours started today. I am so excited to show you this because people way overcomplicate their digital download products in tools like Canva and other apps. All you need is the simple Google Doc format. And if you click below this video, you're actually going to get this exact template. So you don't even have to do anything right now. Just sit back, relax, and follow along. As you can see, I start off every digital download product by reminding the purchaser what the name of the product is. And then if it needs a little tagline, that will go here. And then right here, I'll go ahead and give some sort of backstory. Basically, why did I create this product? What was it that was happening in my life or a customer or client's life that facilitated the need for this product to come into existence? And then these next few sections, this is where you can really start to get creative, and this is where you're going to apply your subject matter expertise. This is going to start to look different for each and every one of you. So you'll start off by titling your next section just to break up the text a little bit and add some visual interest. I know this isn't like the most interesting thing, but it's kind of designed this way on purpose so that we have a lot of black and white text that's easy for your customer to edit if that's part of their purchase or to print out if they prefer to do that. I like to have 3 to 5 really juicy explanation points or journal prompts or pieces of a template that are going to be going to the purchaser just because it looks visually interesting to have an odd number versus an even number. I know they'll be split up over many pages sometimes, but it just is a little bit higher design-wise versus having 1 or 2 things that can feel a little bit cheap. You're just going to go ahead and fill in the bulk of your digital products here. So if this is a template, if you want to go ahead and use the template I provided for you here and start creating some of those prompts or whatever your digital product is going to entail, the bulk of it is going to go here in this middle section. And then you're going to take the time at the end of your digital product to wrap up and review, maybe highlight any high-level things that they should have taken away from using your product. Or this is even a section where you can include some helpful pointers and tips in case they're getting stuck. On that point, inside my Launch Your Shop Academy course, I actually go into a whole training on what needs to come with your digital products. So this just kind of scratches the surface, but in order to cut down on customer service requests and to increase customer satisfaction so that they continue to buy from you, there's a whole set of little extras and bonuses that you'll want to include with your digital download product to make it a bestseller. I like to use this section at the end just to build in a little bit of relatability and my personality. That way, if they found me through a friend or they just made like an impulse purchase, they didn't really know me that well, this is the section where they can get to know me. One of the best tips I can give you for this right here, though, is to frame it in you sentences rather than I or my sentences. Anytime we're saying the words you or your, our readers, our customers are more likely to engage and take away from that content versus if it's just all me, I. Basically, anytime you start to find yourself writing an I am or I did or I was statement, try to reframe that in terms of what your customer would want to see. For example, instead of saying something like, I built my business to 5 figures plus every single month in this section, I would say something more like, you can see how I built my business to 5 figures plus every month by blah, blah, blah. Or instead of saying something like, these are my favorite crochet patterns and I hope you enjoy them too, you can say something more like, you are sure to love these crochet patterns when you use them in your daily life. I hope you're starting to see the flip there where we take these I statements and turn them into you statements. And then on the last page, this is totally optional, but I like to include a picture of myself just because in case, again, they found me from a friend or something, it just helps build connection and understanding, and we kind of get to know each other a little bit better, even though we're meeting digitally and not even meeting technically. Finally, for some of you who are therapists, nutritionists, health coaches, doctors, whatever your background is, it's always a good idea to include some sort of disclaimer so that people don't actually think that they're getting your nutrition counseling services through, say, a $10 digital download product. So I use this space at the very end that most people aren't reading anyway. They kind of got everything from the former pages. I'll use the space just to make sure that they know that I am not acting in a professional capacity. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only, or whatever language you want to use here. And I will also use this space because it's just kind of boilerplate language that's at the end, so people are already skipping over it. Many of you won't need this disclaimer, by the way. Don't force it. Don't feel like you have to have it if it doesn't fit with what you sell. Going back to that crochet example, I don't see an instance where you would need a disclaimer to sell your crochet templates, just as an example. That's it, quick and easy. And this is literally how all of my digital products are set up. Now that you've seen the bones behind all of this, let's take a look at what this looks like in real life. This is how I create all of my digital products. So you can see right here, title, subtext, a little story, background, blah, 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 right? Everything I just taught you. And then I don't have a picture in here, but I do have some calls to action to engage in further content and things like that at the end. And then we have the bulk of this product here. And this is what it looks like in real life. So when we look at the typed up version of it versus how it looks in real life, you can see that this is a really nicely laid out, clean, simple design, but this one is a little bit more jazzed up. It's in my brand colors for my shop, and this is the more finished, polished version of it that is just a little bit more put together. You can see the templates are a little bit more fun. However, all of my digital products start like this. And to be honest, if it's a template and not an email pack or something like this, I'll just keep it as a Google Doc because they're going to be editing that template. Now, the email pack that I'm showing you here, that was a little bit different because they weren't supposed to be just like straight up copying it like a template. But this is an example of how you can start with a Google Doc. And then if you want to have it more designed and in your brand colors and a little bit more pretty later, you can totally do that. But I like starting here because if there's a mistake or a grammatical error, which there always is, it doesn't matter how good you are at this stuff, there is going to be feedback and just some customer experience stuff that you'll want to change. And if you're already starting with something that's highly designed, that's going to be a lot more expensive and difficult for you to change. Plus, most of you aren't starting out with the budget for professional graphic design, so you can start selling this version of it. And then as your product sells, you can start to hire a graphic designer to create this version of it. That was so much fun. I had so much fun guiding you guys around and showing you what it looks like. I hope it was a little bit more simple and easy than you thought it was going to be, and that you use the momentum from today's video and maybe even doing it alongside of me to come up with your own digital download product and get it out there and selling in the world. And if you need help on getting these products selling, that's literally all I do on this channel. So what are you doing? Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you back next week where we'll be talking about even more ways to sell your digital download products in the easiest, most passive way possible.